Hello everyone, I'm Andrea Digital Tech, and for some time now, I've switched from an iPhone 13 to an iPhone 14, but I have to admit that I haven't noticed significant differences in daily use. This change didn't evoke the typical excitement you feel with a new purchase. The main reason is that Apple decided not to make substantial changes to this latest model, limiting themselves to releasing some updates. This might have disappointed some fans who were expecting more significant innovations, but personally, I believe these updates shouldn't be underestimated, as they have made the iPhone 14 a more advanced, functional, and technologically cutting-edge device compared to the iPhone 13. If you're considering whether it's worth buying the iPhone 14, I want to show you some features that I think shouldn't be overlooked to help you make a more informed decision. From an aesthetic point of view, the two phones are practically identical. Same size, same design, similar materials with aluminum frames and glass back, and the same button placement. However, the first significant difference is in the cameras. As you can see, the cameras on the iPhone 14 are slightly larger than those on the iPhone 13, both in terms of the sensor, which we'll analyze in a moment, and in terms of their more pronounced and marked protrusion compared to the iPhone 13. This also applies to the display, which remains at 6.1 inches with an OLED screen, HDR, and the same 60 Hz refresh rate. The notch is also the same size, including the usual Face ID, but with the difference that the iPhone 14 has added a second light sensor. Therefore, practically speaking, the two displays are almost identical, offering the usual experience in terms of brightness and clarity, with a peak brightness of 1200 nits. This sometimes annoys me under direct sunlight because it makes it difficult to read the display clearly. Other than that, there are no substantial differences between the two models, but if you want to delve deeper, I've made detailed reviews of each model that you can find among my videos. Another notable difference between these two models is the hardware components for their performance. Both use the same processor, the A15 Bionic, initially introduced with the iPhone 13, featuring a 6-core CPU. However, the iPhone 14 has an additional core in the GPU, bringing the total to 5 cores. Additionally, Apple has increased the RAM by 2 GB, making it a total of 6 GB compared to the 4 GB of the iPhone 13. To help you understand better, I ran some benchmark tests and, as you can see, the iPhone 14's processor performs slightly better than the iPhone 13's in both single-core and multi-core tasks, but especially in GPU calculation speed. Even though these differences are not very significant in daily use, since both systems are very fast and responsive, the iPhone 14, with a slightly more powerful GPU, allows for faster and smoother graphic operations, such as in gaming. Moreover, the increased RAM enables greater responsiveness when many applications are open and likely ensures better handling of future updates, maintaining high performance for a longer period and slowing down its aging. Moving on to the cameras, as mentioned at the beginning of the video, the iPhone 14 has larger sensors to capture more light and take better shots, especially in low-light conditions. An interesting aspect is that the main camera of the iPhone 14 is the same as that of the iPhone 13 Pro. Both phones have two cameras, an ultra-wide and a wide, both 12 megapixels. The differences are not huge, but the iPhone 14 manages to take brighter and more detailed photos both during the day and at night. Another important feature I noticed is that the iPhone 14, probably thanks to the larger sensors, has a faster shutter speed. This reduces the blur effect in photos, offering more precise and detailed images. Additionally, the iPhone 14 allows for shooting videos in cinema mode in 4K, while the iPhone 13 only supports full HD. Furthermore, Apple has introduced Action Mode, not present on the iPhone 13, which allows for perfectly stabilized videos even when moving, provided there's good lighting. I have to admit that all these changes make the iPhone 14's cameras significantly better, and even though there aren't dramatic improvements in practical use, these refinements enhance the photography experience, allowing you to take increasingly beautiful and accurate photos. But the updates on the iPhone 14 don't stop there. Apple has further improved the sensors, allowing for new SOS functionalities, such as emergency SOS via satellite and crash detection. These two features, which I covered in my iPhone 14 review, are really useful and interesting. In case of an accident, these functionalities can make a difference, literally saving lives. This is a significant update that tech enthusiasts will surely appreciate. These are the main differences between the two models, which may appear almost identical at first glance but feature interesting updates. For example, regarding the battery, both phones, having the same processor, offer the same battery life, allowing you to get through the day with normal use and a single charge. However, I noticed that the iPhone 14 charges faster than the iPhone 13. I did some research online, and it seems that Apple has improved the cooling system, allowing for faster charging. If this is the case, it would explain the greater efficiency and quality of the new model. In conclusion, I have to say that between the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 14, I prefer the latter, especially for the camera updates and the new SOS features. So if I had to advise you, if you want to save some money, the iPhone 13 is a valid choice since it offers very similar performance and user experience. However, if you already own an iPhone 13, I wouldn't recommend upgrading to the 14. Instead, you might consider the iPhone 15, which I will review soon, or stick with your current iPhone 13. That's all for this video. If you liked it, please give it a free like and subscribe to the channel for future tech updates. See you next time.